there, I'm Jen with Pressure Cooking Today, and I'm here to talk to you about the Instant Pot Vortex Plus with Odor Erase technology. This is one of the newer Instant Pot basket style air fryers that's on the market. And over the last few years, as air fryers have increased in popularity, we've been getting questions from our readers about how the standalone basket style compares to the Instant Pot models like the Duo Crisp or the Pro Crisp, where they have the air fryer lid attachment, so you can pressure cook and air fry with the same appliance. We're gonna go into it. Well, we've got another video that will talk about the pros and cons, so we'll link to that in the description when we get there. But today we're just gonna focus on the Instant Pot Vortex Plus. So you can see the one with the Odor Erase technology comes in this really pretty stainless steel. And that's kind of the biggest difference between the Odor Erase technology version and the regular Vortex Plus, which we've covered in another video. This right here is the Odor Erase technology. Let's see if I can, it's kind of tricky doing everything backwards on the review. So this is the Odor Erase technology. It, as you can see, there's the fan will go through here, and it blows the air up and through this Odor Erase. There's a little white, there you go. There's a little white foamy thing in here that as it forces the air through, that kind of the smell molecules stay in the little white foam. And then put it back in. So then the air that's gone through the Odor Erase technology will blow out here, and the fan also blows up through there. So when you're using this, you want to keep in mind you need to keep about 5 inches of space around the sides and around the top of the machine. And it has this very shiny black plastic exterior where, as you can see, when it's off, it's completely off and you cannot see the controls. But if it's plugged in, you can just hit the dial, you can press a button on the screen, and you'll see the buttons pop up. One of the things I really like about this standalone Vortex Plus is that it just keeps to very specific cooking functions. You've got air fry, roast, bake, reheat, broil, and dehydrate, and that's it. So I'm always a big fan of fewer presets in favor of just the cooking functions. So it's nice to see that it has that. So let's just talk about how to clean the housing. Obviously, you would never want to submerge this in any water or liquid. You'll want to use a damp cloth to clean it. When you're cooking in an air fryer, you're often cooking things that are a little bit greasy. Even if it's just like frozen French fries or air fried chicken nuggets, they can get a little greasy, and so it's not uncommon to have little grease fingerprints on the outside of your air fryer. So what I like to do is I'll use either Dawn Power Wash or just a little bit of regular Dawn. I'll get it all soapy and sudsy if it's the regular Dawn, but I'll dip the corner of my washcloth in the Dawn. So I'll spray a little bit of Dawn Power Wash on my washcloth, and then I'll rub it on the greasy spots on the air fryer exterior. Wait a minute or two, and then get a lightly damp, you don't want it dripping, just lightly damp washcloth to wash the dish soap off, and that usually works great for me. So now you'll see the air fryer, it has a basket. One of the things I like is it comes with a light inside. The light turns on anytime you open the air fryer. It has just a very flat bottom. This is a nonstick pan. It has a little silver hook that you can use to get this rack out. So this little tray is great for letting if there's any grease, it'll fall through the little holes. And it's also great for letting the air circulate completely around the food. So you'll want to make sure that you've got that in. Each side has little silicone nubs on it to help it avoid scratching the surface. So you just lower that in, and then there is a little window that I really love, so you can get a peek. So you can get a peek of what's going on inside the basket. And this air fryer light will stay on for just a few seconds when you close it. You can also press the light button at any time to turn the light on and off. When you press the light button, the light will stay on for 2 minutes, unless you open the machine, in which case it will stay on until you close the basket again. To wash your air fryer basket, the basket and the cooking tray, it says that you can wash those in the dishwasher. However, I don't like all the space it takes up in my dishwasher, so I generally will wash the basket by hand. And then the little cooking tray, if it's got a lot of grease that's really stuck down in the grooves, I'll put it in with the dishwasher like a plate. But I often will just hand wash that as well. They also sell parchment paper liners, which I love, especially when you're making things like French fries or chicken nuggets. They make cleanup a breeze. So we'll put a link to our Amazon shop in the description so you can see what I'm talking about there. So let's talk about cooking. So to get started air frying, you'll just hit the air fry button, and then do you see this time temp button? You'll press that and it will allow you to use the dial to adjust the temperature. It goes to a max of 400 on the air fry setting, and then you push again to adjust the time. It can go up or down all the way to 1, and then you press start. As the dial tells you, it is starting the preheating mode. You'll hear the fan come on and the air will start to blow. And you'll definitely want to make sure that it has preheated before you add your food, unless the recipe you're using specifically mentions a cold start. When you're just getting started with the machine, I really recommend using trusted recipes just to make sure that your food turns out, so you build your confidence and get used to using the machine. The Vortex also has these nice indicator lights. There's 3 of them in the preheating setting, so it lets you know how close you are to being able to add your food. So while we're waiting, I thought I'd talk to you. These are the air fryer liners that we purchased. It just came in a 100-pack off Amazon. They are square shaped. They're made to fit right in this air fryer basket. They also have rounds, and they have little flat ones if you want to put it underneath the cooking tray. The one thing you need to be aware of is that the air inside can sometimes make the paper kind of curl up. And if it does that, you want to make sure that it is not going to be touching the heating element that's on top above the air fryer basket. Ask me how I know that. We were making corn dogs and the thing wrapped around the corn dog. But still, I love these. They make cleanup a breeze, so as long as you're paying attention to what's going on in your machine, you're good to go. As you can see, the indicator light is on the 3rd preheating bar, so you know that it's almost done preheating it. It does go pretty quick. Okay, you hear that little beep. It says add food on there, and so it's showing that you're in the cooking process. It's down to the 3rd bar because we set a 1-minute cook time. We'll just go ahead and hit temp time, and we'll adjust that cook time up. Hit start. You can adjust the time and temperature at any point in the cooking process, but you have to make sure that you hit the start button first. So I will go ahead and I will open this up. It said add food. So you open it up, and then you'll add your food to it, with or without the parchment liner, your choice, as directed by the recipe. And it pauses the cooking and reads close basket until you put the basket back in. If you take it out, eventually it will time out and cancel, but it takes a while. So you feel free, if it takes a second to run out to the freezer and grab your frozen chicken nuggets or whatever it is, you have a little bit of time to do that. Then as soon as you put the tray back in, you hear it beep and it begins air frying again. When you have a longer cook time, like I forget where the cutoff is, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, midway through the machine will beep and it will say turn food. That's just the machine's way of reminding you that when you're air frying, you want to make sure that both sides get nice and crispy. So whether you're making French fries and you want to pull the basket out and use the tongs to toss them, or whether you're making like a chicken and you want to turn the breast halfway through so that it cooks up nice and crispy on both sides. I like that it has a built-in reminder. However, you can completely disregard it. The beeping will stop eventually and you can continue with your cooking process. So we'll adjust this time again. And you'll see it starts to count down in seconds, and the indicator's right at the end of the 3rd cooking bar. Okay, so you see the cook time has ended and it reads end, but you can hear the fan is still going. It takes a little minute for the fan to cool down, and so the fan will continue until, there we go. until it's officially over with. And then as soon as it says end, whatever you're cooking, you're gonna wanna open up your air fryer basket and you'll want to take it out. I generally will set it on a trivet, or we have a gas stove top, so I'll often put it just on top of like the gas stove rack. Anything that's heat safe and won't burn. This pot does get quite hot to the touch, so you make sure that you're using mitts or tongs or heat resistant like spatulas or whatever when you're going around in here. You don't want to scrape the ceramic coating. But then you can, dish out what you're serving, and then it will cool off over time and you're good to go. When you are getting ready to clean it, you want to make sure that it has cooled to room temperature before you start to clean it. And if any grease gets on the heating element that's up there, you want to make sure it is cool before you would do what we talked about with getting a little bit of dish detergent, just a little bit on your wet and soapy rag, and clean it off that way. And then get a clean, not drippy, slightly damp rag and wipe it off that way. And then you need to make sure that that heating element has had time to completely dry before you use it again. I generally won't clean off the heating element until after I know that I'm going to be done for the night, so it has all night and the next day to dry. One last word about the Odor Erase technology. One thing that's really nice is that it will tell you when it's ready to be replaced, and they sell just little replacement white blocks. I think they sell them in a 2-pack, I don't know. But they sell replacement Odor Erase filters, so you can replace it. So when it's time to replace the filter, this little dot matrix display will read change filter, and then you can go ahead and change the filter, and then just hold down the bake and reheat buttons. Come on. So that's how you reset the filter. So I think that's everything for cooking. The roast, bake, reheat, broil, and dehydrate. Each of these settings is just a different range of time and temperature that you can use. So as you can see, the default for bake is 365. The default for reheat is 280. And those are just their standard defaults. One of the things I like is that it remembers what you last air fried at. So if I cook chicken nuggets all the time at 385 and hit start, the next time I go to air fry, it's got it ready to go right at 385, which is really nice for those things that you make all the time. You just have to remember to adjust your temperature setting at the beginning of the recipe. So, all right, I think that's everything. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments. In the description, we're gonna post a link to our Amazon shop to purchase this, or for accessories to use with it, along with some great recipes to try cooking in your air fryer. So as always, if you have any questions, leave us a comment below, and be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.